Kami bahasa dengan guys semua. Good morning, selamat pagi untuk semua. Pada hari ini kita bertua lah kerana bersama-sama saya on this special historic day are two of our notable leaders in Sarawak. On my right is Datuk Bolly Lapok, the retired Archbishop in Sarawak, and on my left is Datuk Seri Edmund Langgu. And today we'd just like to share a few things with you. I'll start with Datuk Bolly, and my question to you, Dato, is this. You are in fact a retired Archbishop, and a lot of people would say that, look, you should rest and just enjoy your retirement. Yet suddenly you came in and decided to join politics, you know. Now, again, there is a notion among Christian in the church. They say, look, Christians should not be in politics. It's dirty, you know. Yet, you are not only a Christian, but a church leader, a retired archbishop. You decided to come back to politics. And then you decided to join PSB, you know. A lot of people are asking, why? So I think you can respond to them and maybe share with them as to why. Yes, that.
Right. Selamat pagi. To answer that, it's more of a personal testimony from me, and hopefully I cover what you asked me to. First of all, when I was still in service, I was a member of what this group called a government-instituted group, JKMPKA. It's a mouthful. It is jawatan kuasa mempromosikan understanding and harmony among religious adherents. So I had been in that group where issues were discussed, and we concluded that it is better to continue dialogue than going to court. For obvious reasons. Once you get to court, one bound to win and the other lose. But to keep the Malaysian character of religious tolerance, harmony, it's better to dialogue. By all means, dialogue until the cow comes home, but it's better than you fight it out in court. So I agree to this. So I'm a strong advocate of dialogue and conversation. Now that I have retired, I expect this dialogue to be ongoing. But obviously, given the uncertain political climate of the day, people just wanting to win over their opponent say all kind of outrageous utterances. Somebody ought to object to this approach to differences. Where is the dialogue we talked about? Secondly, I thought I have been called by God to serve in the church. My time has come for me to retire, but the calling that I speak for God, again, what is dark and what is unclean, if you like, it is the duty of all Christians, not just me, to voice it out. Something is not right. So I was having an option, either to keep my peace and wait for my time, or to still contribute, to encourage the community that this is what we ought to be saying. Something is not right. So I chose the latter. You might have heard that the thing was to the extent that accused Kitai Daya Monohura. To the extent, what do they expect? Do they expect us to keep quiet, not to add more fuel to it? I thought we need to alert the authorities that something is wrong, it's not right. Then I was baffled that our leaders have been keeping quiet about this. I hope you know what I mean. Something is wrong somewhere. We need to voice our discontent. It is the most Christian thing to do, to say, it's painful, it hurt me. Why can't somebody say this? I said it when the Bible was impounded. I said it when people say you cannot use the words Hala. Why can't I? We have been using it before Malaysia was even born to stop us from using it. It's not just a religious activities. I think it is a language genocide. That's already in our language DNA. And you say that's not right. Something is wrong. Again, to get over this, there ought to be dialogue.
Now, on this point, Dato, you see, we hear our state leaders say, hey, look, you guys in Sarawak, Sabah, this is not a problem with you. This is Semenanjung problem. This is of Allah issue. This is Semenanjung issue, not Sabah. You can use it. Now, what is your response to this?
For better or for worse, Malaysia is divided by the South China Sea. But it is still one Malaysia. What happened in Semenanjung Malaysia is bound to get to Sarawak. So at the federal level, there must be an attitude that is taking into consideration the sensitivities of the Borneo states. That I have said what I have said. It is to the ears of our friends in Semenanjung Malaysia. They get on with their politics as if Sabah and Sarawak do not exist, as it were. So there ought to be a constraint as we live together as a nation. That is the responsibility. The diversity must be respected. Must be not only respected, but celebrated.
But don't you think a lot of Sarawakians in Sabahan are
Indeed.
working in Semenanjung?
Indeed. You see,
Will affect them?
it will affect them, you know.
I had
How they live.
40,000
Yeah.
in Johor, is it?
Yeah.
The Ibans and Sarawakian, you know.
A Malaysian feeling as if he is an alien. Shouldn't leaders be looking into this? It is our moral obligation to ensure that there is fairness, justice to all Malaysians.
Well, so people say that it's wrong for Christian to be vocal. Now you make it very clear. It looks like this is consistent with what we believe.
Yeah,
What do
you
you
know, if you are baptized, I'm sorry to address this to the church, as if my focus is to, but I'm talking to all Malaysians. Now, if one is baptized into a church, he's a follower of Christ, and Christ is saying to him, I'm the light of the world, now you are the light of the world. You are a candle. You are as if you are salt of the earth. That's in that one. Now, that calling to me is what I was called to be while in service. It's still my calling as I retire.
Exactly.
I cannot be any less than what I was. To shine, to give salt. Should I fail in that, I fail my own calling, as it were. That's why I have chosen to voice out our discontent, and I found PSP among its principle is a centrism, meaning it serves all at the center. In political parties, I understand a party may advocate extreme right or extreme left. Fine. But in the church, you cannot. The church is universal, Catholic, and it must be at the center.
Correct.
So I find in Parti Sarawak Bersatu, one that preaches what I've been preaching about. That's why I align myself to the party.
Okay, Dato. There's another thing that I'd like you to share as well. Now, before the formation of Malaysia, the Cobol Commission came in. They came to Sarawak to find out what were our desire towards the formation of Malaysia. And one of the things that they wanted, the forefathers, they were saying, look, knowing that the Federation of Malaya had Islam as their official religion, they said, we want Sarawak to maintain our secularity. So they decided, look, Sarawak shouldn't have any official religion. Now, I think we are one of the states in Malaysia having no official religion. Sabah used to have no official religion as well, but then in 1973 when Mustafa became the chief minister, they amended the constitution. Now they have Islam as the official religion. Now, what is your take on this?
Yeah. Going into history, the architects of Malaysia must have seen in Sarawak this diversity. That the natives were the majority, still are, and that their right ought to be protected. So they must have seen that that arrangement is suitable for the Peninsula Malaysia, but cannot be enforced in Sarawak. Hence, a state which is secular. And that we have inherited from the past. And now we realize that it is a very precious legacy, which all Sarawakian must protect. Not just one side only. We must protect that. Because that reflects what Sarawak is. Not to give way too much to A, B, C, D. It is a secular state, period.
Yeah, thank you, Dato. In fact, I just want to share with you too, and with the audience as well. When I moved within my constituency of Baklalan, official visit to the schools, for example. In fact, I visited all SRK in Baklalan. Interestingly, you know, when we have this function, official function, with me coming in, both as the minister then and also as the adun for them, our program starts with Christian prayer. and ends with Christian prayer. And nobody complained. Now, to me, this is the crucial aspect of Sarawak having no official region. When we visit official vision being organized by whoever is our respective YBs in the area, the dominant belief of that area should be recognized and be accepted. And this is the good thing. And I want to ensure that, in our area, which is predominantly Christian in Baclaran, that our beliefs should be used and be respected in this official function. So, to me, that would be one of the things that we should recognize. Thank you so much, Dato, for sharing with us your thought on these two aspects. Now, I want to ask Dato Seri Edmund. Now, Dato Seri, I also knew you much earlier in PBDS days. Dato Seri has been in politics for many years, and therefore we can say that Dato Seri had that experience in politics. Dato Seri. Now, I thought you also retired and maybe forget about politics later, but suddenly you came back again, and then you decided to join PSB. Now again, I like you to share with us why come back to politics when you had long experience and years in serving in politics, and I know you have been the MPs for Sarawak for 4 terms or 5 terms? 5 terms.
And
Adun as well, 2 terms, yeah. And you come back, and you choose PSB. Can you just share with us your thought on this? Why?
Aku nyot dalam jaku iban.
Oh, manahnya?
Awak ke iban listeners mendiang ke tekok aku. Berarti ke utai kena sebut aku tu lebih. Aku lama udah retired. Ndak berjaku ke politik. Ndak jadi YB lagi selama 20 tahun. Tak aku berundian ke ngasai ke aku udah masuk politik kena dari tahun involve buat politik kena dari tahun 1961 kira. Apin aku masuk buat Sarawak National Party. Dan aku dah involve buat politik, nulis utai buat politik, bercakap, buat Tribune, buat newspapers. So aku asai supaya aku dia tadi ndak boleh metode politik. Tajak umur aku udah tuai. Mayu orang lihat dia tu mantah aku, madak aku masuk politik umurnya udah tuai 80 lebih. Tangkuk penemu aku tadi. Politik tu nadai no age limit. Politik. Sagi lagi kita tahu berunding. Sagi lagi kita tahu politik.
Ya.
Nyale aku tadi berundian ke aku start punya ngau robot senit early days in 1963 aku dipilih jadi konselor, jadi divisional advisory konselor, jadi MP sampai 25 tahun jadi MP. Jadi aku dah medok gamal kuing politik kenyau aku buat senep punya ngagai kerja tu jauh nak berubah. Semua tadi jauh nak berubah. Buat politik atur tutup civil service macam-macam buat development. Mayuh nak tanya tadi ndak betul buat dia aku. Berubah lagi hari take dulu hari terubah kami masuk aku jadi MP sekarang. Jadi aku medok udah dia buat parti snap berapa 50 tahun, 11 tahun sampai ke punya debuai orang de segian orang hari snap. sekian hari Senin ketegal aku tadi kau ngeriang ke prinsipal Dayak aku prinsipal political principle. Nyalai aku kai resign hari Senin, kai jumping hari Senin ngagai pakai ukai. Aku sekian murah buat Senin. So lebuhnya tadi aku berdiri independen. Lalu menang. Laban Presiden James Wong challenge aku, tinuan amat kering, tinuan amat popular, nuan berdiri independen. So I stood as independent and won. And 100 MP. Yang lain, aku berundian lebuh aku independen. Aku ndak boleh ngerjakan saya alone. I must have members, I must have friends, I must have political colleagues with me to speak out. Utai kepatut dah jaku kaku alam Malaysia al-bahagi Sarawak politik. Nyala aku berundian ke tadi mooted the idea of forming a political party. So nyok ke ngasuh parti Dayak, parti bangsa Dayak Sarawak sebab dia tumbuh ke. Dia tumbuh ke aku. Lalu mai sedap Datuk dengan tajam, mai orang bukai. Jadi tumbuh ke parti nyala parti nyok tumbuh. Tahu dah kita tadi mampu penudah ke dia WB.
Engkau masuk dalam 87.
Engkau bawa Sarawak, bawa parti bangsa Dayak Sarawak. Tentang medak kita nya dah bisik pengeriang dia. Bawa parti nya tadi Cina masuk yang bisik engkau kata dia. Bangsa bukai ke semua Dayak itu Melanau, Len Dayak, Kelabiat, Badayu, orang lu, maka nuan pulau bawah, semua masuk dia. Medak kita nya sudah bisik unity, medak kita sudah bisik strength, political strength dia. Lalu partinya dah padam tu, dah padam korang. Jadi aku nak temu hati abang parti. Leban utanya parti, our party was deregistered for no apparent reason. Nyalai aku tadi since the deregistration so parti bangsa dia Sarawak, aku ndak mau politik lagi. I did not join any political party. So tak puas aku berundian ke Kenyak tadi. Aku medak politiknya berubah dia tu. Bangsa kita native pada aku lebih lagi bangsa Dayak. Kena tindas ke orang kok in certain areas. Jadi nadain tu orang kok berjakuk ke hot topics. Laban kita aku ingat ke tadi orang even orang Semenanjung madah ke MP kita Sarawak itu bisu ngai berjakuk buat parlimen dia. Semena kau berjakuk muji perintah. Mau muji perintah sedak kau berjakuk tang mantah perintah, bersalah ke perintah, even though they see something very wrong, goes very wrong with politik dia tu, sedak ngai berjakuk. Ngai mantah kena takut ke dari loss popularity, loss tu bukai. Jadi aku berundian ke Kenyak tadi. Saya ke diri ngai jadi aku ndak jakuk tu. Nyalai hari nyok tadi aku berundian ke ni platform ke tahu alai aku tadi contribute political idea ke Kenyak tadi. Nyalai daripada aku lebih aku medak PSB tu parti Sarawak Bersatu tu tadi bisi bercampur bangsa dia. Lalu very similar engkau the formation of Sarawak National Party kelai ko pelabuh nyari pun politician cuba. Nyalai aku tadi masuk PSB tu tadi ketegal aku kok juga platform lalu gulai orang ke kira aku tahu kau gulai. Laban aku dah ngasai ke gulai orang bercampur bangsa alam senip semua. Gulai ngo Cina, gulai ngo laut, gulai ngo Kedayan, Kenyah, lain Dayak semua ke Kenyah. Nalai sepi aku tadi, ya ke dia tu tadi. The best parti ke tahu de pasok aku tahu de depan aku asai sepi aku ke dia tu nyak PSB tu. Nyak ke buah aku masuk dia kan. Laban awak ke pedak aku tadi kalau mayuh dia tu. Kalau Dayak mayuh dia tu. Artinya tadi Dayak mesti ke buah bergempung alam PSB tu tadi. Nyak ke de pedak aku tadi. Jadi Siti ge tadi aku medak mayuh Dayak bukai ke Dayak tu kalau rencet buat sup sedak mesti mingat sikut dua buat parti apa namanya tadi bersatu Sarawak PBB mesti mingat ke sedak buat PRS mesti mingat ke sedak lalu buat apa nama PDP mesti mingat lalu voice sedaknya pedak aku tadi ndak segala Sedak bercakap ke lain tak ndak sebab penemu. Penemu sedak berpecah. Jadi penemu sedak berpecah kena they cannot be make effective. They cannot be effective. Not effective enough to speak for the interest of Dayak. Or the Dayak. The non-Muslim Bumi Putra. So, nyok ke buahku tadi masuk ke PSB.
I'm very attracted to your statement tadi, Dato Seri. Samanya dengan Datuk Bolly tadi yang mengatakan bagi dia sebagai orang Kristian, tanggungjawab dia bukan terhad hanya di dalam gereja, tapi dia mengatakan bahawa tanggungjawabnya sebagai seorang yang percaya itu luas, keluar dari the four walls of the church, and menjadi terang, jadi geram, seperti mana yang kita mengatakan, and it's very similar to your statement yang mengatakan in politik age doesn't limit you. And it's very interesting, you know. So you see this, yang mudahnya age tu tidak menjadi alasan dan it doesn't restrict terhad bagi kita. And even in your old age as you are now, you still think ini adalah satu tanggungjawab, ya, to speak out for our people. Dato Seri, thank you for sharing again. I'll get to the second aspect of my question. Yeah, I think I understand. Dato Seri had an experience very much in the adat. I think I regard you as one of the most knowledgeable Dayak leader in Sarawak now in terms of our adat. If it is probably from the perspective of the land rights, the adat, the general adat of the Dayaks, you know. And I understand too that you had the experience of being the board member of Adat Istiadat for 6 years. And therefore, I'd like to ask you, what do you think of the adat of our people? Claims of the NCR land, which is a very hot issue now, are they still very important to our people? And now that you are with PSB as a political party, what do you expect that we can do with adat?
Ya, banyak amat WB non madah ke aku besi penuh bawa besi pengalaman bawa adat di Bian. Aku dah menyekunuan tadi dah 6 tahun jadi member Majlis Adat Istiadat, dah nyoba belasan tahun dah jadi advisor ke Tunjugah Foundation, cultural advisor Tunjugah Foundation. Nyala kita Iban, tua Iban lama tu, sidak pengulu, sidak pemancar, temenggung. Selalu sidak ya manggil aku berkenal lo adat Iban, lebih lagi pasal culture adat tanah, adat Kita selalu kena hari-hari. Jadi buat ada tanah tu, aku irau dah ke utai ke datur perintah dia tu, bisi perintah dan datur ada tanah, bisi dah mubah ada tanah. Lebih lagi bawa pemakai menua. Ada tanah bawa pemakai menua, sidak ia limit dia tu dengarku tidak salah dengarku, mena tahu orang kempu tanah kempu menua tahu 500 ekar.
Biannya Datuk Seri, kalau mengikut pindaan land court tempoh hari dalam tahun 2018, pemerintah Sarawak telah berpindah. Saya percaya kerana mereka pun ada pressure lah kerana keputusan dalam Nyawa ini yang mengatakan pemakaian menua dan Pulau Galau itu disahkan sebagai cara kita orang Dayak menuntut hak ikhtiar. Kerana itu pindaan dibuat kepada Seksyen 5, hanya pemakaian menua kita boleh nuntut maksimum 500 hektar saja. Lepas tu lagi dia ada tambah lagi 500 hektar. Maksud dia maksimum we can claim is about 1000 hectares. Itu aja. Betul. Ya.
Jadi aku dah bersetuju kena OB lepas aku medak dan bisi surat sekedak lah orang pindah ngage menua baru. Dan bisi diberi Tuan Raja banyak surat di sungai itu, nadai bersukat berapa itu, berapa ekas, bukan dan sesitik sungai itu, orang tu, rumah tu, tahu kemukai pengulu tu, buat air tu, sungai tu. So nadai limit utai 100 ekar, 1000 hektar, nadai bukannya. Banyak dan bisik dah jadi ke hak orang bukai sidak yang bisik surat dadu ke Tuan Raja semua. Jadi aku penemu aku tanya dan dah hak orang tanya udah diberi. Kanti kau kita ngambil kita ke dah diberi orang ngagai kita ke. Artinya dan dah hak orang bukai. That is their property. How can you take it out? Take it away again. When is given to them. Kau penemunya salah. Penemu perintah ke dia tu. Tak tahu berlimit-limit kena. Tindang dah diberi kurang, beri kurang. Tindang udah pakai menua, dah derimbau, udah semua. Ndang orang ke udah berimbaunya tadi. Nadai tahu demi perintah ni. Nadai tahu demi company ni.
Mengikut adat ke sidak ya.
Ndang itu punya. Ndang kenya orang kita lagi buat sepiaknya sebab apian kita itu melonggar kelingkang range itu punya. Ndang udah ada. Namo tayo daprimbo kita ndangi kita. Namo tayo ndangi kita tadi nitiah kiadat kanya ndangi kita tidak tahu dami siapa-siapa. Perintah tidak tahu ngambilnya, company tidak tahu ngambilnya, individuals tidak tahu ngambilnya. Nya ndang ada tanah. Ada tanah tu tadi mewah, ada resam. Nya ke bawah tu Dayak kau nyokong dukung namanya proposal of Malaysia. Aban sidak Dayak tu tadi niingat ke tahu ke mikir tadi adat resam sidak tahu dia kenal lebuh kita ini udah masuk Malaysia. Nadai rumah dah kada resam kita udah masuk Malaysia, ada resam kita tu tadi nadai lagi. Nolen buat nadai misalnya. Nyok pengharap kita lebuh kita masuk Malaysia. Nyalai dia tu tadi mewah dah ada resam tu tadi nyo debuai, nyo tabar. Ndok kutun juga, sempama tun juga nya. Sempama kaya aku kaya irau ke Malaysia tu tadi bekat tebu kaya. Manis buat pun tabar ngagil jo. Artinya tadi betul tekutun juga. Lepas subah fully respected adat kita. Nadai orang dak berbahasa ke kita. Adat Kristian berbahasa adat Iban, adat Dayak dah bahasa kurang. Lepas kita masuk Malaysia, lepas kita forming Malaysia together in 1963 semua. Aku ingat kemayanya lebuh kami sembiang apin debate apin berjaku Dewan Rakyat dia tadi. Nama kerja dulu bersembiang. Sembiang satu ngena sembiang Muslim. Udah paduknya ngena sembiang Kristian. Dia tu ni mesti kena lagi. So nyok pada aku tadi Siti hari utai perubahan. Betul ke daripada aku tadi. Nyala mayuang tu berubah kena pasal adat tu tadi. Aku lebih lagi tadi ngai medak orang tadi ngalah ke orang kempu tanah yang tadi nena adat dia tu madah ke undang-undang adat kita Dayak tu tadi nadai nama tadi nadai positive effect pemutus perceraian tadi. Sedak madah kena tadi nadai nama aku sedak nadai force of law. Ya kebenar tadi laban sedak dah nemu undang-undang. Sedak orang hari Semenanjung hari semua tadi sedak dah nemu undang-undang. Sedak dah nemu adat iban adat Dayak. Adat bangsa kita dia tu murut kenyah semua. Hanya lah sedak ke penyok. Jadi sedak dia tahu utainya should be fully respected. Lalu adat ke kenyan dadu ke balau ke kenyan ndak patut ubah right utai kenya adat ke baru dia tu.
Okay, that's it. I think yang ini saya setuju ya. Mungkin kemungkinan besar orang yang menjadi hakim-hakim dalam perbicaraan kita mengenai syariat ini adalah orang dari Melaya, orang yang tidak paham mengenai adat kita ya. Itu sebabnya mungkin mereka ini tidak tahu dan tidak mengiktirafkan hak adat-adat kita ini sebagai satu undang-undang ya. Okey, mengenai isu ini kita sudah bawa ini angkatkan kepada PSB parti kita sekarang ini dan kita setuju. Kita akan memindah tanah adat kita ini mengikut adat kita dan kembali dengan keputusan Nyonya Wai. Maksudnya penuh ya, mengiktirafkan penuh adat kita mengenai pemakaian benua dan Pulau Galau. Anang kita bisa terhad ya. Terhad hanya 500 hektar saja. 1,000 hektar. Nah olehnya ini adat. Macam mana kita membiarkan orang lain dan pemerintah terhadap hak kita. Ini masalah. Tapi kita sudah angkatkan ini, kita setuju ini akan dipindah balik. Ya, kalau kita menjadi pemerintah. Kalau mandat diberi kepada kita, kita akan membuat itu. Lagi satu Datuk Seri mengenai adat ini juga, iaitu mengenai adat ruai. Adat kampung ini mengenai melantik atau memilih ketua masyarakat. Dulunya adat kita ini ketua kampung atau tuan rumah kita itu dipilih mengikut adat ruai kita, orang-orang kita di kampung. Tapi sekarang ini sejak beberapa tahun yang lalu pemerintah Sarawak telah mengeluarkan satu ordinance supaya pelantikan ketua masyarakat dan tuan rumah kita ini dibuat oleh Governance Council. Nah, macam mana pandangan Datuk Seri?
Aku tidak setuju tentang itu. Tidak setuju sekali-kali. Laban tuai rumah, tuai kampung, patut dipilih orang kampung, patut dipilih orang rumah panjai. Ukai dia poin orang hari district council or perintah tadi. Jadi siti lagi aku tidak setuju ke dia tu. Perintah Malaysia tu, biagi di Sarawak tu. Tuai rumah, tuai kampung. Dia pilih, patut dia pilih rakyat. Kaya dia pegai sidak ya. Dia ada pegai sidak ya, diri yang sidak ya, nyaw orang milih sidak ya. Entah tuai kampung atau tuai rumah dia tu tadi ndak tahu dia ke politik. So mata-mata minat dia kena perintah ke dia tu the government of the day. Jadi campaigner sidak ya. Hanya pada aku ndak betul. Nyala perintah tadi orang kan jadi tuai kampung, orang kan jadi tuai rumah tadi. Patut anak nutup mulut sidak. Awak ke sidak diberi kebebasan. Tahu mentah perintah. Jadi sidak tu tak tahu mentah perintah. Sebenarnya tahu bersetuju ketika kau perintah. That's what they say in the rural areas. That's what they say in the rural areas. That's what the people believe. But that is wrong principle. It's wrong principle.
Okay, Datuk Seri, it's very clear, terang jelas bagi saya bahawa ini adalah satu lagi langkah yang diambil perintah Presiden Nasional sekarang ini GPS untuk suppress awak adat. lagi di rumah pancai. Dan bagi kita di PSB, kita sudah angkatkan isu ini dan juga kita akan mengubah undang-undang ini dan beri balik lagi hak memilih ketua masyarakat, ketua kampung, ketua rumah kepada orang kampung.
Ya.
Baru dia adil kan?
Adil.
Kalau tidak, tuai-tuai kampung, ketua masyarakat kita ini dia ikut apa yang disuruh oleh government of the day, pemerintah, like a mouthpiece for them. So it's not fair, tidak adil, dan kita ingin supaya rakyat kita, ketua kita yang menjadi ketua kampung, tuai rumah kita ini bangkitkan cakap apa yang adil untuk semua, bukan politik dan dengan cakupan politik. Okey, itu kita akan angkat dalam PSB. Okey, terima kasih Datuk Seri dengan kongsian pada hari ini, dan maybe Datuk Bolly ada lagi perkara yang kita mungkin as a summary for you. I just want to say your last sharing.
Right. The political climate of the day. Nobody is blind that it has been so unprecedented that we have how many PM in 1 year?
3.
There you are. Something is very wrong somewhere. So it's time. And for Sarawak to say, oh, keep quiet, this is a semenanjung affair, that is wrong. That is for the status quo, to keep the status quo. We ought to speak and voice out what ought to be done. First and foremost, to protect the interest of Sarawak. Let me use one illustration. In my kampong, it's quite an old kampong, and some of the durian orchards owned by everybody in the Langgu. When it's durian time, how to ensure that everybody gets his check? So we call it bragir. 50 longhouse, 10 longhouse would be entitled to get the buah in one morning. Following morning, another 10, and so on. This is to ensure that the young and the old, the weak and the strong, get his fair share of what is owned by the community. Sarawak belong to all of us. It ought to be equally distributed among the people of Sarawak. You go to any office, what do you see? You go to any department, what's going on? This is the time for us to voice it out. Datuk Seri, Edmund and myself, we have retired already, and we are disgusted that people are trying to keep the status quo. We keep quiet, don't rock the boat. Now this is the time that shared buah is supposed to be
For young and old.
yes, divided fairly. We are not taking somebody else's due.
Correct.
Give us what's due to us. Thank you.
Thank you, Dato. Thank you so much, Dato Seri. Thank you so much for sharing your thought with us today.
So I want
Yes.
to say something.
Yes, Dato Seri, maybe you can continue. What is in your heart? Yeah.
Siti lagi putih mirau ketiku tadi pasal nyukat tanah. Nyukat tanah NCR. Jadi perintah ke dia tu tadi ngajak ke kita nak section 6. Nak section 6. Jadi kita nak section 6 tu tadi individuals kira ke nada say. Almost no say. Banyak semua tanah tadi di luar tu ada community. So, communal belongings. Jadi nanti sidak ya kau ngadai tanahnya tadi. Sidak ya bisnes kau ngadai tanah tadi. Dah boleh. Nomor reti ngadai dia percakaran.
Cagaran ya.
kena sidak ngadu ke bisnes. Ndak boleh. Lebannya tadi communal land.
Apa?
Hanya siti nekol sidak bangsa bumi putra tu tadi ngadu ke pemansa. Ini siti tadi nama kebuah ndak tahu ada nama tadi ada sukat kena section 18. Jadi perintah madah kena ada duit pula, perintah madah kena ada bisi duit. Mayu anda jalan lebih dia tu sidak yang kena nama tu tadi nyukat yang tadi kena cara baru dia tu. Ndak lama sidak madu kena. Sidak madah kena ada manpower, sidak madah ke kena ada duit bisi duit. Sige uliah tu sidak kau nyukat dia punya. Tanya jangka aku dia tadi artinya perintah dia tu ngai ngadu kenyo ndak tahu kendak tadu kenyo nyalai aku nama aku nyok ke aku ke masuk dia PhD tu tadi awak ke kita itu tadi inti uliah tadi nganti sidak kendang udah lamanya tadi udah terlalu lama sidak Bian tu tadi pakai perintah tahu GPS tu terlalu lama dah pakai perintah 50 tahun tu dah jadi kita ndak betul ganti sedaknya. Betul nanti orang baru kita ngasai ke orang baru tu kok. Nialah kita nanti 50 tahun tu lagi bedau kok kita itu kenyang. Nialah kita betul nanti sedaknya ngena parti kita gitu. Minta orang tadi ngarap ke mayuh di orang nyokong PSB itu tadi kena nanti perintah GPS Domno Sarawak.
Terima kasih Datuk Seri. Kita juga menimbulkan satu isu yang begitu penting bagi orang kita, orang Dayak lah, mengenai Seksyen 5, Seksyen 6 dan Seksyen 18 ini. Mengenai isu ini ingin saya sentuh sikit lah mengenai ini kena dibangkit oleh Datuk Seri. Ya, bagi kita PSB dan bagi kita dari dulunya kita sudah keluarkan statement kenyataan akhbar mengatakan bahawa seksyen sukatan di bawah Seksyen 6 ini tidak diutamakan. Walaupun pemerintah mengatakan buatkan dia di bawah Seksyen 6 dulu, lepas itu pergi di bawah Seksyen 18. Bagi saya ini tidak patut dibuat begitu. Kerana kita buatkan kita ada memulakan sukatan eksersis itu di bawah Seksyen 6. Kenapa kita tidak teruskan buat ini di bawah Seksyen 18 kan? So kita akan mengelakkan ongkos yang kedua kalinya. Karena itu kita akan recommend dan bagi kita di PSB sukatan terus di bawah Seksyen 18. Yang penting bagi kita ingatkan ya, kena sukatan atau survey di bawah Seksyen 6 ini Datuk Seri sebenarnya tidak ada recognition, tidak diiktirafkan sebagai satu title yang boleh dipunyai. It's a communal thing. But Seksyen 18 ini adalah satu title, legal title yang kita boleh mempunyai sebagai tuan punya tanah. You can sell it, you can charge it menjadi cekaran. Dan inilah penting sekali. Dan saya setuju dengan Datuk Seri bahawa kita pemerintah selalu mengatakan tidak ada budget. This all nonsense ya. Bagi saya tiap-tiap tahun kalau bila kita agihkan budget berapa? 10 juta, 20 juta tiap-tiap tahun untuk menyukat ensiatan adat kita. And I have been saying this before. You start from Ludu. Lawas the last one also I accept. As long there is a process and there is a structured plan to sukatan adat. That is my opinion. But anyway, bagi kita di PSB, saya ingin juga mengesahkan lagi kita akan pindahkan tanah adat kita ini untuk mengiktirafkan adat. NCR klaim ini mengikut adat kita lah. Itu yang penting. Okey, sekali lagi saya ingin merakamkan ribuan terima kasih kepada Datuk Bolly Lapok dan juga Datuk Seri kerana dapat meluangkan masa bersama-sama saya pada hari ini. Bagi saya ini adalah satu hari bersejarah di mana kita bersama-sama dapat berkongsi dan untuk kita semua mendengar sendiri perkongsian dari Datuk Bolly sendiri dan Datuk Seri Edmund Langgu sendiri mengenai beberapa isu kenapa kita semua masuk politik dan masuk PSB Parti Sarawak Persatu, dan kita minta berdoa-doa bersama-sama kami supaya hendak Tuhan akan diteruskan di bumi ke jalan.
Amin.
Thank you.
Amin.